sir. My call! World, at my strength. Conquest begins now. Where my blade leads, triumph follows. Honor cannot in one strike! In control! On you go. Is that all? Entertain me. Foes, be my prey. Causality, overturn. Taste my resolve. Face me. World, at my strength. I shall bear witness. On you go. In the name of law. Sing of my triumph! Stay behind me.
Dapat, dinisinfect niyo
I'll indulge you. On you go. Praise me. Future. The moon is full. Ha! We've honor to glory, my friend. Stay behind me. To the lands afar. Honor cannot be sullied. Moment of victory. Roars of conquest in control.
Tonight, police have several suspects in custody, but others got away.
And this all happened in San Ramon today at Heller Jewelers. The business has seen pricey heists before.
Yeah, but they're really shocked to see such a large crew robbing a place in the middle of the day.
So California's loot mobs are now storming businesses in broad daylight. And while experts call this an unheard of surge in violent heists across the state, those of us with brains know this is exactly what happens in sanctuary cities, which harbor every type of criminal you can imagine, not just illegal immigrants.
This cell phone video shows armed robbery suspect running to try and get away after ransacking Heller Jewelers moments before this. The front door to the store locked. The thieves couldn't get it open, so they did this.
New security video shows 3 suspects jumping out of a black car and tackling a man to the ground. The suspects wrestling for the man's Rolex, then snatching the watch and speeding off.
That's really messed up that happens. So people work hard for their stuff.
It's unbelievable.
And earlier this month, this smash and grab robbery at Kim Hung Jewelry in San Jose. Also this jewelry store in Milpitas. 3 separate cases, all with identical looks of large groups of people ransacking jewelry stores.
Since March, we've had 30 violent robberies in California. This is something I haven't seen in my 30 plus years of investigating jewelry crime.
It seems like every week there's another multi-million-dollar jewelry heist somewhere in California. This is crazy. But what nobody's talking about is this right here is exactly what happens when you advertise your state as a sanctuary for criminals. Because in California, it's not just that federal fugitives here illegally are harbored and given free healthcare. Oh no, this state's sanctuary policies do not discriminate and extend to criminals of all backgrounds, who, if they get caught, are immediately released by the state's revolving door jails until they commit the worst of crimes. But when you add on top of that the amount of hatred many politicians in this state have for police, and the fact that many of these police departments are totally defunded and have to fight crime with one hand tied behind their back, no amount of lawlessness should surprise anyone. But it's puzzling California's progressive leaders who called on the state's anti-Trump dictator to do something about soaring crime, which the governor and several sanctuary city minions just got done telling us was not an issue in their part of America, even though we all know it is. And that brings us to the real reason we're seeing so much lawlessness taking place in California. The deck has been stacked so high against the law abiding that they're essentially sitting ducks, which is terrible. And over the last few weeks, we've seen everything from high-end retailers to mom and pop shops taken for all they've got. A problem which doesn't just affect businesses, it also affects neighborhoods where multi-million-dollar homes get picked clean on a regular basis, which is why criminals far and wide know their best life awaits them in California, and looks a little something like this.
The store was burglarized over the weekend of May 25th. Police say the thieves entered the neighboring cafe, Dr. Conti's, then tunneled into 5-star jewelry before torching and prying open safes. The 4 under arrest seen here in police photos are Chilean nationals who've already made their initial court appearances.
Right, so foreign fugitives are coming here specifically to rob businesses and commit crime. This certainly isn't the American dream anyone defending loose immigration policies has in mind, but nonetheless, the ease at which multi-million-dollar heists are happening in this state has criminals everywhere taking notice. Why commit crime somewhere else when California's doors are wide open and when they'll support you financially for coming here and not working a normal job? But now the question becomes, how do these criminals get so good at what they do? How do they learn to rob a place, bust through the front door, and steal whatever they want in seconds and get away with it? Well, as you're about to see, this is something California is teaching them.
That one was more of an organized hit. About 100 people gathered here at 4 a.m. and they just broke the window at the front door, and again, they took everything.
So you have hundreds of people running into stores, stealing things like chips and candy, and guess what? The police don't show up because to them, that's not a big deal. The amounts of individual items being stolen aren't worth a whole lot, so they don't punish it. But guess what that does? That gives all of these people practice, taking things that don't belong to them, getting away with it, doing it quickly. And ask yourself this question. The footage you just saw, does it look familiar in this next clip? We've got a massive group of people wearing the exact same outfits who run into this jewelry store and then pull out the tools you would use to climb Mount Everest, except they're not climbing Mount Everest. They're smashing open jewelry cases at this place where $1 million worth of jewelry was stolen in a matter of 45 seconds. That's crazy, but it's predictable. We've taught these people how to do this, which reveals that in addition to importing criminals, California is also pretty good at creating them itself because nobody gets in trouble when they do anything. But as you're about to see, there are some specific facts about this latest heist that are scaring even people in California who don't care about crime.
This cell phone video shows armed robbery suspects running to try and
Don't
get
go
away
running.
after ransacking Heller Jewelers in San Ramon. Moments before this, while individuals were still inside smashing display cases and taking items, according to police, the front door to the store locked. The thieves couldn't get it open,
Great,
so they did
had to
this.
bust their way
Everyone
out.
ran out. Not just 5 or 6 people, but almost 20, according to San Ramon police.
Broad daylight,
20 people.
anybody could have gotten hit.
This type of organized crime, it definitely is something that needs to be taken higher consideration into.
Police say after the armed robbery, the
Yeah, but here's the thing. The chance to take this seriously is when it's happening in the convenience store, not when it's happening in the jewelry store. Let it happen over and over again at convenience stores and gas stations and places that nobody cares about except the business owner that's just lost everything. And guess what? Those criminals, one day they're going to get sick and tired of stealing potato chips. And when they decide to do that, when they decide to rob a jewelry store, they're going to have all the skills and tools that they need to do it. They're going to know exactly what to do. No one's going to have to train them. They will have already been trained by a legal system that holds 0 criminals accountable for what they do wrong.
We passed by, saw the caution tape, and a bunch of people around the crime scene area. I saw police officers.
Police say air support tracked the suspects through Contra Costa County and into Alameda County. At last check, officers tell us suspects were detained at 2 locations in Oakland and another spot in Dublin.
Honestly, it's crazy because the scale of these robberies is getting a lot larger. I think 2 years ago in 2023, we had this before, but it was only a couple of people. This looked like it was 20 to 30 people.
That 2023 case actually involved 5 suspects who were later caught.
So if a few years ago, you have just a few people doing something that's wrong and they keep getting away with it, and at the same time, we're training other criminals by letting them rob convenience stores constantly, of course it's going to lead to what we're seeing now, daylight heists by masked mobs. This isn't just an escalation. This is almost a completely different level of organization and boldness, and it's all state-sponsored by a justice system that doesn't care about the little things. And ask any doctor, they'll tell you that early treatment is the best way to stop cancer from spreading. That's right. But look at this. You're not even safe at the gas station.
Still searching for these 3 suspects who were seen pulling into this Sherman Oaks gas station here on Van Nuys and Ventura Boulevard, grabbing the victim while he was pumping gas, stealing his watch, and taking off.
Awful.
3 guys attacking one gentleman. And looks like they're stealing his watch.
New security video shows 3 suspects jumping out of a black car and tackling a man to the ground as he pumps gas in Sherman Oaks. The suspects wrestling for the man's Rolex, then snatching the watch and speeding off.
crazy.
That's really messed up that happening stuff. People work hard for their stuff.
They do. And the problem is these criminals have been told that they can work hard and commit crime and that can be their full-time occupation. That's what happens when you have laws against things like assault and petty theft, but they never result in serious charges. The people who do these things never end up in jail. They always end up back out on the streets. And these revolving door policies just train and harden petty criminals until they've got a master's degree in crime. And sadly, the best way to protect yourself in California is going to be to wear a plain white t-shirt, take the bus, and leave your phone at home. You can't have nice things in a place that protects criminals at the expense of the law-abiding. It doesn't work.
It is unbelievable. It's scary.
LAPD says this all happened just after 5 o'clock Thursday night near the intersection of Van Nuys and Ventura Boulevard, right across the street from a watch repair shop where the owner of 34 years says he's beginning to see these types of watch robberies happen more often.
They're not afraid. They're just in broad daylight. Some guys are either desperate or out of control.
Look, it's not about being desperate or being out of control if there's zero fear. If people, look, here they are, they're pulling the watch off the person. They're on security camera. Look, there's 15 security cameras at this gas station, and there's a person right here watching. There's no police around. They fled the scene. They're probably in a stolen car. Why be afraid if nothing is going to happen? And that's bad. If criminals aren't afraid to commit crime, you're just going to have more crime. And that crime is going to move from the jewelry on someone's wrist to the jewelry in the store. It's going to close down businesses, and it is closing down businesses. And this is all being done under the assumption that criminals are good people, and that criminalizing crime, locking people up, is somehow bad for the community in which the crime happened. And it's somehow bad for society in some way to have people in jails. That's dumb. If people are bad for society, the jail is a good thing for society because that's where we can put these folks. I think we need to build more jails and fill them up because the only thing these criminals understand are bars and jumpsuits. That's it. That's the language that makes sense to them. Take away their freedom and boom, people are going to be on their best behavior.
We've had 30 violent robberies in California. Targeting jewelry stores. This is something I haven't seen in my 30 plus years of investigating jewelry crime with the NYPD.
Scott Kuginski is VP of the Jeweler Security Alliance, which works to keep employees and customers safe at jewelry stores across the country.
He's got a lot of work to
do. He says that as gold approaches $4,000 an ounce, these stores are being targeted. Kuginski says that 16 of the 30...
So the price of gold is going way up, and all these jewelry stores are getting cleaned out. Now, if you look at a chart that shows you the price of gold, you'll see that just a few months ago, it was around half of what it is today. And what that means is that the potential reward for criminal behavior in California has doubled, but the penalties have remained non-existent. Thieves can do the same amount of work and get paid twice what they were getting paid the last time they robbed stores a few months ago. That's wild. And that's not the fault of gold. That's not the fault of the stores. This is entirely the fault of a police department that's unable to properly protect its citizens and a justice system that takes these people and lets them go. All of these individuals that you see in these videos, they didn't wake up one day on their way to being a software engineer at Microsoft or Facebook or at Google and say, gee, instead of being a software engineer today and using my college degree, I'm going to go pursue a life of crime. No, these are folks who were taught to commit crime. They were taught that it was okay, and they've done it for so long that it's normal for them to steal.
Cases in California involve smash and grabs like we saw in San Jose.
And 14 others with mob-style 10, 20, 30 people charging the jewelry store with sledgehammers and firearms.
Rodney Alamo Brown heads Soulful Softball Sunday and works with youth in Richmond. He says that until we do a better job educating and preparing our young people, these crimes will continue to happen.
Schools don't teach these kids what they should know.
Listen, it's not about education. jails, and jumpsuits. That's the education that the people doing this never got when they were stealing from convenience stores because the police don't show up.
Adding to his frustration, he says the LAPD couldn't help.
They said there was nothing they can do about it. They said it's considered shoplifting, and shoplifting isn't something they can really go after.
Salib says given their tactics, he's sure the thieves have struck before.
So if we're going to decriminalize crime, if youth crime is going to be allowed, we're just going to create criminals. You educate criminals that what they're doing is wrong with a consequence. And when there's no consequence, you get hardened thugs. Not just homegrown hardened thugs, but hardened thugs from all across the world who say, you know what, California's a great place for me to go and do my thing. It's a much better place than Florida or Texas. And to me, that's the education that criminals are missing out on. If somebody goes and robs a store and they sell all the stuff from the store and they've got all this extra money and they brag to their friends, they're actually educating their friends that, hey, the criminal underworld's open for business. But if that person goes to jail, the legal system educates all of their friends that, hey, your buddy, he went to jail for doing something that's wrong. If you do the same thing, you're going to join him. What do you think about that? Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.
I've been playing this game a little bit off stream.
Men only want one thing, and it's not money, it's not power, it's
imposing my feminine dominance, brother. Yar, pimp. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you with the hard yar right out of the gates. I've just been very pepped up ever since they shut down all those Hooters. Now where am I supposed to find me future wife? I still haven't replaced my go-to.
You can just find her on OnlyFans.
Anyways, after 84 long years, the Japanese have returned to Hawaii. This time, bearing...
After 84 long years, the Japanese have returned to Hawaii. Just a second. That's a classic.
Gifts. A gift that combines two of the greatest things there are. Pirates and Yakuza. Yakuza games are like if cocaine did LSD, then smoked a bowl. Japan before and after the nukes right here. And Hawaiians are like high-level Florida. God damn you.
I've been playing this game myself.
I'm sending that to my lawyer, you fuck. In Pirate Yakuza, all it takes is minutes to go from some poor lady mourning the loss of her entire family to a 60-year-old man blasting the Angry Birds theme while he tricks his pirate ship, shooting his laser powered purple cannon, and his ship full of clowns, then topping it off by scraping their purple cannon, and his ship...
Oh my god. They even have Reddit representation.
Full of clowns, then topping it off by strafing their poop deck with a fully automatic non-lethal flintlock. That sentence only even exists in a Yakuza game, and that's the abbreviated version. Every time I think these games can't get any wilder, they add an entire minigame that's basically Duck Hunt if instead of reality.
Yeah, they have a minigame in one of the Yakuza games where you can literally basically just watch porn. I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
The ducks flying out of the trees, you're reacting to old up guys jumping out from behind a dumpster. There is not a single franchise that has as much fun as Yakuza does. And when I get a spare lifetime, I plan on finishing every...
I never understood how good these games were until I played this. Like, I'm getting close to being done with Monster Hunter Wilds, and like at least like kind of getting to where like I'm just like playing it kind of for fun. I'm not like grinding anymore. The Pirate Yakuza game is so fun, and after I finish that, I'm gonna play another Yakuza game too. These games are amazing.
It's 5 a.m. and you're trying to hit an offline raid. As the sun begins to rise, you stumble across the space in the canyon. You can tell this guy's for sure loaded. But what the hell are those things? Well, those are brain boxes in multiple configurations, and some of them are quite strange looking. You only have so much boom, and you're worried that he's storing all his loot inside said brain boxes. You end up calling off the raid and go hit another 2x2 because you were the victim of psychological manipulation. My name is Dak5. Go pop a Diet Coke and relax, because the following is a video about psychological manipulation. If you do what I do in this video, then you will never be raided again. Alright, here we are, Sight Canyon Take 2. The sun is up high. Now, I can already tell you this is going to be a longer video. I plan on surviving at least 200 days in the canyon, 8 or 9 in real life days. It might be more, might be less, but yeah, I plan on deploying hella brain boxes, lint snaps. I want to do some fake online door controllers. And, you know, I just want to build a god base in the canyon and make it psychologically unraidable. That's a huge find. What the hell? Yo, show me the hands. I'm friendly. Show me the hands. I'll kill you.
Whoa, relax. I'm new to the game.
I'm so relaxed. You have no idea how relaxed I am. Give me 20 scrap.
I only have 15.
That'll do. Thank you so much and have a good wipe. Boom, that could be your head, but it wasn't. Ooh, water pipe, fuse box, good scrap, and sheet metal. Gathering kit along the way, I finally made my way to the canyon that I would make psychologically unraidable. And this is the canyon. Looks like I'm not the only person here. Okay, now there's one major problem with this area, and that is the fact that there is no recycler for at least a couple of clicks. So I'm gonna try and head out and go recycle at the gas station, I guess. I don't know, man. All right, let's move. It was perfect. I had just enough for a tier 1 workbench as well as a metal pickaxe. 14,000 stone. Alright guys, I got a base on me right here. The only thing to do now is to build it. I was really feeling a 4x1 this wipe, but not your standard 4x1. You see, I'm a big fan of an open core with high ceilings, and the way I'm going to be building, we're not going to need a lot of doors. Boom. And this is our base for the wipe, our main base at least. Yeah, so Fob Kank was originally called Main Base Alpha, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that. My main objective at this point is to force a tier 2 workbench. Already halfway there. I'm going to craft a revolver, the pay-to-win skin I got. Let's go lose some sewer branch. And finally, for the first time in like 7 wipes, sewer branch is not looted and it's all mine. We're having a cow. Throw these in there. Pipe, high qual. Oh, small battery, let's go. Oh, I almost missed this crate. Truly a beautiful start to my wipe, but things would get rather complicated shortly. Okay, that was easy. Got a Tommy and a tier 2 workbench. I was progressing at quite a fair pace. I crafted in 1911, found some garage doors, and I even started decking out the base with lights and aesthetics. But then I had to hop off for the entire night, and I made one very crucial mistake. I failed to deploy a single brain box. Could be worse, could be worse. I was able to see on my Rust Plus app that the guy rating me was named Jonah, and thankfully, he didn't grief the base, and he left my tier 2 workbench. Back in business, after about 40 minutes, it was like I was never even rated. The clock on surviving 200 days in the canyon has just been reset. I wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. I immediately deployed a Mark 1 brain box. Boom, there is a Mark 1 right there. I'm not a fan of the brown. I gave it some...
Oh, guy on building, left. Target.
I don't got range for it, sadly.
I do. He's on that building.
It's a bot.
Sure.
Nice shot. Oh, there was a player just with really terrible aim.
Like, I thought he was a scab, that's why. It's a scab player.
Oh well. I'm gonna go get this mission now. I just got a better backpack than what I already had. Reloading.
I think the tree had like a... No, connection issue. Yeah, definitely tree connection issue.
You want the transceiver?
Yeah, I'll take it. I can carry it. Come on. I'm trying to open up one of those pieces. Where's it at?
Up top. Let's go head straight north.
Is that your main kit or is a ult?
It's an ult.
Yeah, I've been playing level. I've been playing level.
Kai easily the fakest human in streaming. Stop putting Kai Cenat on my timeline. I hate looking at stupid people. This dude Kai is honestly the most corporate and soulless streamer I have ever seen. Nothing he does is actually genuine. These are just a few of the countless tweets and comments reflecting how people feel about Kai Cenat in 2025. But go back just a year ago and he was celebrated as being the biggest streamer on the platform. Beloved for his generosity.
What you guys do? I just work. I be playing, bro. I be trying to stream too, but my PC? Yeah, bro. We gonna get your PC then.
And admired for the genuine appreciation he showed for his fans.
Yo! What's good, bro? This is my dream. It's a dream? Yeah! My boy! I love you, guys!
So what happened? How did Kai manage to fumble the mountains of audience goodwill he'd built up over the years and become so hated? Especially since he wasn't exposed for doing something horrendous like Dr. Disrespect, or ruined his reputation with deplorable stunts like Johnny Somali. Well, in Kai's case, his downfall is the result of many smaller missteps piling up over time. From his botched promises to build a school in Nigeria.
I want to do as much as I can to help you guys and just be able to make sure you guys get better classrooms and stuff like that. Whatever they tell me you guys need, we're gonna make sure you guys have good stuff, okay?
To the way he's been treating his fellow streamers as of late.
Wait, what? Kai's doing IRL? What? All right, chat, I'm gonna go to the gym, bro. I don't even know what's going on. All right, I'm gonna see y'all boys, bro. I tried to set up a 30. I don't know.
And to top it all off, he's losing the relatability factor that made him popular in the first place, alienating his audience and turning them against everything he does. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today, we're taking a closer look at why Kai Cenat is becoming so hated by the internet, the many incidents that led to this situation, and what, if anything, he can do to save his career from completely collapsing in the near future. That said, if you want to save my channel from a similar fate, all you have to do is subscribe. So hit that red subscribe button and let's get on with the video. For a large portion of his current fans, Kai is someone who came out of nowhere and was dominating the streaming space in no time. To them, he was an overnight success, effortlessly outshining everyone else in the streaming world. This perception has led many, including Kanye West, to label him as nothing more than an industry plant.
You know, we out here stepping away from Adidas, like the shit that Kai sent somebody. That's some industry plant shit. He gotta be talking shit about my pants. So he's an industry plant. Of course, he's the opposite. Total fucking exact genre is the most industry plant.
However, while that's still a possibility, the idea that Kai came out of nowhere couldn't be further from the truth. Because in reality, Kai's been trying to become a successful content creator since 2015, when he was just 13 years old. He started with sketches and random videos on Facebook and Instagram before making his way to YouTube in 2018. He didn't see much growth in the years leading up to his YouTube debut, but that didn't stop him from trying again on a new platform. You see, Kai didn't see much financial stability growing up. He was raised by a single mother doing her best to make ends meet. Their family was even forced to stay at a homeless shelter at one point.
He was in the shelter, bro. I don't tell nobody that. I still have shelter sheets in my crib in New York.
So in his mind, making it big on the internet was his only chance at attaining a better life for himself and his family. And after a few more years of hard work, it paid off. He became close friends with another like-minded YouTuber named Fanon, which in turn allowed him to become part of the AMP group. This was a big break Kai had been looking for the past 5 years. He reached nearly 370,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and was consistently getting around 200,000 views per video. This growth also gave him the confidence to go all in and drop out of college the same year as well.
I officially dropped out of college. The college videos is what made the channel. I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell y'all something, man. When you know that something is holding you back from getting to the next level, it's like you just had to sacrifice that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to miss college there, but I just came to a realization that it was actually holding me back in the long run. Off camera, it was just stressing me out. Homework, everything coming on that time when I had to focus on you guys. If I know that my dream could work, I'm gonna put it before.
He later transitioned to live streaming on Twitch in February 2021, and it was only uphill from there. He rose through Twitch's ranks over the next couple of years, becoming a fairly well-known figure on the platform by 2023, with his viewership lying somewhere between 200,000 to 300,000 live viewers every stream. This on its own was insane growth for someone who essentially came from nothing and worked for years to reach this level. But just when people thought he'd reached his peak, Kai did something that skyrocketed his career to heights no one thought was possible. In January 2023, he began his month-long subathon called Mathiathon. This ended up becoming one of the biggest events in the platform's history, propelling Kai to become one of the most subscribed Twitch streamers of all time, with over 326,000 peak subs by the end of February. And while he lost this title to Iron Mouse a few months later, he came back even stronger with Mathiathon 2 in November of 2024, and ended up taking the #1 spot back with over 728,000 paid subs to his name.
Oh my God,
Suffice it to say, Kai seemed unstoppable at this point. But fast forward to 2025, and the love and support people once had for Kai is eroding with every passing day. He is by no means a struggling creator when it comes to raw metrics. However, the general sentiment surrounding him tells a completely different story. Where he was once considered the ideal streamer, a classic case of making the right person famous, many on the internet now see him as someone who, quote, ruined a generation. Which brings us back to the question we posed in the beginning of this video. Why? As we briefly touched on earlier, Kai's downfall isn't the result of one massive controversy that tanked his career. Instead, it's the result of many smaller mistakes and a shift in his priorities, eroding the trust people had in him over time. Now, Kai has made plenty of blunders over the years, from teaming up with Mr. Beast to fake setting fireworks off inside his house, to getting temporarily banned from Twitch on 9 different occasions. Then there was the disaster he caused in New York City in August of 2023, when he promised an in-person PlayStation 5 giveaway to his millions of fans without any preparations. The result was a large unruly crowd that quickly turned into a full-blown riot.
New York police say Kai Cenat promised his more than 6 million Twitch followers that he would have free PlayStation 5s to give away at this event.
Kai was even arrested and charged with the crime of inciting a riot. However, while some of these missteps resulted in noticeable backlash, like when he invited convicted domestic abuser Chris Brown onto his stream during Mathiathon 2, or when he and his crew nearly ended the lives of 2 innocent animals during other streams, none of these these mistakes really impacted his career in a negative way in the long run. In fact, things like the New York City riot and the subsequent headlines only brought more attention to him and his streams, allowing him to reach an even wider audience. Instead, the factors that are actually dragging down his reputation are far more recent. Most of them also center on the core idea of him being a fake poser, someone who only says and does what will push his content further. And there's no better example of this than his unfulfilled promises to build a school in one of the poorest regions of Nigeria. It all started in March of 2024, when Kai visited Nigeria and witnessed the terrible living conditions in the Makoko region. There he met the young man running a local school and orphanage. But with little to no resources, dozens of students were crammed into tiny classrooms, while the orphans had to sleep on mattresses laid across school desks. After seeing the state of this essential facility, Kai stepped up and pledged to help the area with a brand new school built to modern standards.
I'm going to help you today, okay? I want to do as much as I can to help you guys and just be able to make sure you guys get better classrooms and stuff like that. Whatever they tell me you guys need, we're going to make sure you guys have good stuff, okay?
In addition to improving hundreds of lives, this commitment also worked wonders for Kai's reputation, as evident from the top comments under this video, reading, "The fact that he actually went into the slums and helped out the school there makes me respect him so much more. I'm a 45-year-old man, and it brought tears to my eyes to see that 23-year-old man ask for things for his students instead of himself. My respect has grown immensely for Kai and this trip." But then, over a year passed by, and Kai did not share a single update on how the school building project was going. This led many to question if any work was being done at all, or if the promises he made on camera were nothing more than PR stunts. The doubt reached its tipping point in August 2025, when an account named KickChamp made a tweet stating, "A YouTuber checked on the school Kai Cenat promised to rebuild, only to find no progress as it struggles to pay expenses and faces shutdown." The attached clip was from YouTuber Go With Ali, who visited Makoko a month earlier and featured a dilapidated school and orphanage in his video. An important thing to note here is that the facility shown in this video was completely unrelated to the one Kai promised to rebuild. KickChamp, whether by mistake or on purpose, framed it as if Ali was visiting the same school to highlight the supposed lack of progress. However, while the clip was misleading, the question this viral tweet brought up was not. Why hadn't Kai shared any update on the project he promoted over a year ago? What made the backlash from this even worse was the fact that Kai didn't donate a single penny to MrBeast's Team Water fundraiser, which promises a year of clean water for one person for every $1 donated. This is the biggest fundraiser MrBeast has ever done, with thousands of creators, including ourselves, not only donating, but also encouraging our communities to chip in as well. Kai, however, has remained radio silent on the matter. He didn't even pick up MrBeast's call when he tried to ask him about it during a charity stream.
See the answers. Yeah, no answer. We tried, GG.
Aiden also offered to match Kai's donation 1-to-1 if he pledges $400,000 to the cause.
If Kai donates 400K, I'll go 400K. If Kai doesn't go 400K, I still got 100.
But this was met with the same silence from Kai as well, which combined with the lack of updates on his personal charity project does not look good for Kai. As a disappointed viewer puts it, first he doesn't donate to Team Water, and now he's scamming his supporters absolutely shameless. That said, there are many who defend Kai regarding the Team Water situation, pointing out that charity is and should always be completely voluntary, and MrBeast calling him out on stream to peer pressure him wasn't a good idea to begin with. On the other hand, however, are those who believe that Kai should have donated long before the situation reached this point, especially since he's more than happy to flaunt his wealth every chance he gets, and even got into an argument with XQC about which one of the two was richer.
And I know he's gonna see this, and don't try to watch flex this shit with me, because we can do whatever you want to do. Watch for watch, house. Oh no. Both hands in the air. I got AMP's entire net worth on a 1 USB stick and some sticky deposit box somewhere. Okay, buddy? We're not gonna go there.
But when it comes to giving money to a good cause, he's nowhere to be seen. Now, one valid reason some fans have brought up to explain Kai's absence from the Team Water charity is that he wants nothing to do with Aiden Ross, which is a whole can of worms that's also one of the reasons behind people calling him a fake poser. You see, while Kai was somewhat successful when he first started on Twitch, he was nowhere near the top dog he is now. Back then, Aiden Ross averaged nearly 45 times more viewers than Kai. This gap became smaller when Aiden started inviting Kai to his live dating shows. Each one of these invitations effectively functioned as a shout-out from Aiden, allowing Kai to reach a much bigger audience and build a sizable community of his own. Eventually, Kai also started copying Aiden in content, with things like rapper streams, something Aiden had been doing for years at this point. But despite Kai becoming a direct competitor, both stayed good friends and even exchanged expensive gifts on occasions like their birthdays. Even when Aiden got banned from Twitch, Kai kept claiming that he'll make sure Aiden is unbanned as soon as possible.
If there's a way I can get Aiden unbanned by December, I would like to do some Christmas shit with him.
However, somewhere between that and when Aiden got unbanned in March of this year, Kai's opinion on Aiden changed completely. He went from genuinely trying to help his friend to capping about being happy for his unban.
Congratulations, that shit is so crazy. I hit him up.
That's nuts. Because I remember when Aiden texted Kai and was like, "Yo, could you say something about this? This is unfair. How her son get unbanned after one day for saying somebody should be killed, and I didn't get unbanned." And this nigga Kai didn't even reply to Aiden.
He started ignoring anything relating to Aiden.
W Kai, man. W Kai. Call Kai. I'm gonna call Kai. He's probably just in the middle or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's cool.
GB sticker of Kai.
And he even stopped picking up Aiden's calls in private when just a few years earlier he was relentlessly pestering Aiden to include him in his streams. A fan summarized this perfectly on Twitter, stating, "So Kai completely tricked off of Aiden and now just acts like he doesn't exist. How weird, considering Aiden made Kai." The thing is, Aiden and his community don't have the best reputation at this point. There are many straight up racists in his chat who start throwing slurs anytime a black person appears on stream. Kai also claims that he stopped talking to Aiden because his manager called him the N-word.
Ty was a white man, by the way. He proceeds to say, from Nike to McDonald's, but bro, keep it real, bro. Nigga, a chicken Big Mac, nigga? Nigga, a chicken Big Mac, nigga? He on my phone, calling me the N-word at 4 a.m. in the fucking morning. You supposed to be a nigga manager, and you
What's up with you? This response split the community into two. Those who believe that Kai is completely justified in distancing himself from Aiden over this, and the others who think that he should at least publicly acknowledge Aiden for his contributions to Kai's streaming career. To this second side, Kai looks like a total fake. Someone who got what he wanted from Aiden, then jumped ship the moment things got rocky. Though at least Kai has a somewhat justifiable reason for ignoring Aiden. But when it comes to Jinxie, there was no excuse for what he did, which in turn only added more fuel to the hate coming his way. Jinxie, for those who don't know, is an immensely popular streamer who became big playing Rainbow Six Siege. But with Siege becoming more unpopular with each passing day, Jinxie decided to play some other games and eventually landed on a mobile game called Clash Royale. And that's where Kai and his AMP crew come in. In July of this year, he hit up Jinxie and asked him if he could set up a Clash Royale tournament for his stream. Jinxie agreed, but nothing could have prepared him for the disrespect he was about to receive. It started with the AMP boy straight up ignoring Jinxie when he was trying to explain how to set things up.
Now, go to social and then go to invite friend, the yellow button. Click that and then you copy.
Anybody in the chat want him? Anybody?
Oh, tweet the player name.
He's single. Anybody in the chat want him? Anybody single in the chat?
What the fuck are you? What the fuck are you? Chris,
that ass.
Chris, that ass right now. I don't want to battle chat.
But if that wasn't bad enough, Kai somehow forgot about the tournament completely and started doing some IRL streaming instead, something Jinxie only found out when his chat told him about it, resulting in him getting disappointed and ending the stream.
Wait, what? Kai's doing IRL? What? All right, chat, I'm gonna go to the gym, bro. I don't even know what's going on. All right, I'm gonna see y'all boys, bro. I tried to set up a 30, I don't know.
The least Kai could have done was inform Jinxie about the change of plans and apologize for wasting his time, but he didn't bother even telling him about it. This sparked an immediate wave of backlash, with Kai's own viewers spamming L's in the chat. Only then did he notice and try to fix things, but by that point, it was already too late.
What am I doing? Why does it L Kai? No, tell Jinxie. Back. No. Okay, yeah. I'm going to Jinxie, bro. You got out for real? Jinxie ended for real, God.
Not only was this incredibly disrespectful to Jinxie, it also further reinforced the idea of Kai being a fake who doesn't deserve the love and support he once had. Think of it this way, if Kai genuinely cared about the people around him, he would have never left Jinxie hanging like this. Instead, he's a fake who only cares about his viewership, which is why he only responded when his own chat turned against him. That said, Kai choosing to ignore inconvenient stuff until his own chat calls him out on it isn't a new thing. Remember the unbuilt Nigerian school we discussed earlier? Well, as it turned out, Kai did give a response. According to him, the school is being worked on. However, the location makes the construction a lot more difficult than originally anticipated, and that it would now take more than 2 years to build the school. Alongside this, he also showed a clip of the work being done on location.
They are working very hard right now, removing what's got to be removed and like getting the school ready and shit.
The only issue with this response is that it only came after the backlash reached his own fandom and became a direct risk to his viewership and income. Would he have stayed silent if people didn't demand the truth so intently? Another example of him ignoring the issue until he received backlash was when XQC called out the botting problem on his close friends' streams. You see, some of their streams went from averaging less than 1,000 views one day to over 60,000 the next, which, as XQC puts it, doesn't add up.
When the number is like that, it's just no good. Like it's not, and you compare some of these other guys sometimes, yeah, it's up and it just doesn't add up. That's motion, brother. 37% validated viewer, bro. 30% validated viewer. You have to be kidding me, right, brother? That's less than 30%, bro. That's 31% validation.
For those who don't know, a validated viewer is someone who is logged in with a proper account and is much less likely to be a bot. Unvalidated viewers, on the other hand, are ones that watch a stream without ever logging in. Typically, the number of unvalidated viewers is very low for most streamers. Let's take Kai's own Mafia Fun 3 stream as an example, where less than 18,000 out of the 123,000 are unvalidated. This is normal. In contrast, nearly 70% of Rakai's viewers during the stream XQC mentioned were unvalidated and almost certainly bots. Now, XQC didn't accuse Rakai of purchasing bot views to inflate his own numbers. It could be a viewer who just wants to see Rakai become more popular, or anyone else really. However, streamers can easily see this discrepancy in their statistics. So even if he didn't buy the bot viewers himself, Rakai, and by extension Kai, should have resolved the issue on their own, or at least talk about it. But in typical Kai fashion, he chose to ignore the issue until XQC pointed it out, then got angry at him for it, and after receiving backlash, responded with a yap session that didn't include any rational arguments.
I'm gonna be honest, this is no bias, this is no nothing of aggression, this is nothing of negativity. It looked like he didn't, like I'm not even trying to be funny or mean. I'm gonna go ahead and say it looked like he didn't just a little bit. And I'm kinda tired of like the whole look, and I feel like the more I hold back, it's not the first time. This is how it looked, Felix. This is me talking to Felix. This is me not really being on some shit. It looked like he didn't because it's like it's a pattern. It's like everything something is going on this side, like you saying I say, and then when you say it and I say something, it's you was joking.
As one commenter puts it, attacking the person instead of the argument is a sign of defeat. However, ignoring alleged bot viewers on his inner circle streams, avoiding accountability until receiving backlash, and leaving Jinxie hanging are just symptoms of a bigger problem, which, as we've discussed so far, is how fake has become for many of his viewers. Where he once represented the everyman, hanging out and having fun with his friends on camera, he's now a corporatized entity trying to bridge the streaming and traditional celebrity culture. To many of his longtime viewers, everything he says or does at this point feels rehearsed. His laugh and reactions seem less genuine and geared more towards farming clips and viral moments.
Yo, I'm gonna be in shape by December.
Fans even joke about him having a stylist for not just his fashion, but everything from his taste in music to the way he reacts to certain situations. Something that sounds absurd until you see him awkwardly standing with a smile at an NBA YoungBoy concert, someone he's supposed to be a big fan of. Now, credit where credit's due, this fakeness has actually helped him match the vibe of any celebrity who comes to his stream, making them actually fun and enjoyable for the viewers watching for the celeb. But for the viewers who came looking for the Kai they started watching years ago, the current landscape is nothing but disappointing. This disappointment manifests as anger online, thus explaining the noticeable uptick in Tysonat hate, which begs the question, how will all this end? His viewership doesn't seem affected for now. Mafiathon 3 is still pulling tens of thousands of viewers, and his YouTube videos are performing just as well. But that's the thing about slow, steady reputational damage like the kind Kai is facing. It doesn't tank a career overnight. Instead, it gradually makes people stop caring about the person they once supported. And without word of mouth or hype to bring in new viewers, it's only a matter of time before Kai starts to fade into obscurity and someone else takes his place as the hot new streamer. That said, he still has plenty of time to get his act together and win back most of his loyal viewers. Though winning back old viewers seems like an impossibility for Nico Carter Avocado at this point. Click the video on screen to find out more.
This university allows students to create their own major? What?
Check this out. This is a bunch of NYU students at their graduation. If you look at a girl like that, what did she learn in college? I don't know. At Penn State, she learned how to become a jihadist. Congratulations. There's a whole bunch of worthless stuff that you can become if you become a college graduate these days. Check this out.
My name is Jacob, and my concentration is environmental science and sustainable business.
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of Cell.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle.
The what?
Hi, my name is Lex, and my concentration is the performance of Cell.
Okay, so you made that one up.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. My concentration is creative direction, production, and narrative through the arts, performance, and written word.
Hi, my name is Karina Gomez, and my concentration is in journalism and Latin American studies, with an emphasis in human rights, collective memory, and...
Ah, we started off so strong. Everything was going so well.
Political violence.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lee, and I studied...
Is this just like a daycare for Karens? This is like a Karen factory. I feel like this is this is like discovering like a wasp's nest. It's like you keep getting stung by wasps. Like, where the fuck are these coming from? And you see it, it's like, oh shit, that's where they're coming from.
Sociology and environmental communication. Hi, my name is Reed, and I study music business and gender studies.
Daycare?
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I
Why
study...
is it that every single one of these people's job, like these things, is all like bullshit? Why is it that none of them are like, you know, my degree is in, you know, like understanding how C++ can integrate with current and future AI systems and how to, you know, make sustainable programming in line with language models? Like, why is it that it's never in like accounting with like a focus on, you know, like, let me think of a good way to do accounting. Yeah, like international accounting, right? Yeah, it's always, what I'm saying, it's always bullshit. It's always soft science bullshit.
Care politics with a minor in...
Care politics. Studies.
My name is Elliot Wright, and my concentration is art as a social mechanism.
This is crazy. This is adult daycare.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and my concentration is dramatic writing and theatrical adaptation.
My name is...
I'd like to read her Twitter account.
Noah Loyacano, and my concentration is equilibrium or negotiated paradox.
Hi, my name is Sophie Lopez, and my concentration is titled Queering and Decolonizing Gear Practice.
Hi. Oh my god. Oh god. No, I mean, you can clearly see where she's going with this, right? Because like the theater is like derivative of Europeans, and you know, you can clearly see where it's going in that direction, right? Like, yeah, oh wow. Her degree isn't discrimination? Yes. Wow. This is, yeah, and this is what people's money is going towards. So, and I want you guys to see this. There's a lot of people that get degrees and stuff like this, and they can't find a job. I wonder why.
Yes. Hi, my name is Maya, and my concentration is journalism, post-colonial studies, and psychoanalysis. Hi,
all right. W. Okay, that's probably one of the best ones that we've had so far. That's good.
Hi, Louise. I'm graduating with a concentration in philosophy of science and theater. My name is
W. Great.
And my concentration is titled The Criminal Mind, which is surrounded on criminology and applied psychology.
That's good.
Hi, my name is Juliana. My concentration is international business and fashion through sustainable development. Yeah.
How you doing, college?
I mean, to be fair, some of those at the end were okay.
Drop out making mad cash in the real world. These people, everything has failed them. The systems have failed them. Their teachers have failed them. Their parents have failed them. All of those useless degrees, utterly useless degrees that they went to NYU for and went into debt. And then, of course,
I think he's right about this, and it's something that people never talk about, is that whenever you put somebody in school for something like this for 4 years, and then they're not able to do something, because a lot of these people are taking on student debt, they're taking on loans, etc., in order to finance this education, and now they're stuck with effectively a Faustian pact with the U.S. government that can never be broken, and they're wage slaves and interest slaves for the rest of their lives. And really, I mean, these people, like, yes, they're obnoxious, annoying Karens, but they're also being capitalized on by people that are predatory, and I think that it's predatory to do this for people, and everybody has the right to do what they want to do, but at the same time, I think that you have to look at the ethics of this and think about, is this really a good thing to be promoting whenever people know they're not going to be able to get a job like this, and then they're going to be stuck with all this debt forever? I don't know. I find it to be problematic. I do. Like, maybe I'm the most empathetic streamer, so a lot of people, might not know that, but I am. In a way, I feel bad for them because they're being set up to fail.
Administration will somehow forgive their debt, which isn't even a real thing. You're just pushing the debt elsewhere. They are going to become baristas at Starbucks, and they'll do that.
Well, they're probably going to do that with robots soon. So I don't know about that.
For about 6 months, they will then tell you that Starbucks is part of the evil capitalist system. They will strap on a suicide bomb and they will blow up a bus. That's what the future is for these people.
I don't know about the last part, but like, it really was a bit much. I've got to watch this. Who attacked us on 9/11?
doing this interview kind of like shows me like how little I actually knew about it. And it's kind of scary.
Hey guys, it's Kara Zupkis with Young America's Foundation. As the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks approaches, we're here at George Mason University where we're talking to students to see just how much they know about what actually happened on September 11th and if they think that their schools are doing a good enough job of teaching what happened on that tragic day. So do you know what major anniversary is coming up this weekend?
I do not know.
No, I don't think so.
I'm definitely not really sure what's going on.
Honestly, if somebody had asked me, like, I probably wouldn't have answered this one. Like, I feel like the way that you asked that question is like kind of like a major, like, I feel like September 11th is like, yeah, it's an anniversry, but like, you know, like, I don't think this is a well-structured question to ask people in order to, like, you know, test their...
I have no idea.
This coming weekend, not Labor Day. Yeah. Do not.
Okay.
I do not.
No.
Next.
Not off the top of my head.
No, I'm not aware.
No, we do not personally. Nope.
Who attacked us on 9/11?
No context? Okay, here we go.
Who attacked us? What's the group called?
ISIS.
ISIS, yeah.
A terrorist? I don't know the exact name, I forgot.
I would say, I wonder what they would be answering today, but I think that we know what they would be answering today.
I don't want to say the wrong. Iraq? Afghanistan?
It was,
all right.
I believe, a group of terrorists that hijacked a few planes, flew them into Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden.
Oh, they know him.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know like what terrorist group?
Not specifically.
Hold on, I just gotta think. 1 second.
Oh yeah.
I did know, I did.
We were taught this.
Do you know who attacked us on 9/11? Very loosely, not really.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on
Osama bin Laden and the
terrorist group. Yeah, it's a terrorist group. I just can't remember.
Do you know why they attacked us? Like, what was their reasoning for attacking us?
I don't know necessarily the reason. I mean, they're just considered a terrorist group. I guess that's all I really have on that.
I personally have no idea.
Was it a retaliation of someone who was president at the time, like Bush?
Revenge.
For...
I don't know, the war they had back then.
Kind of true. Like, I mean, that's what some of them said. I mean, I feel like that's kind of the best answer we've had so far.
I guess to terrorize, I don't know, I guess.
Probably not.
Trying to bring our country down, I guess. 'Cause one of the reasons for that, trying to cause chaos.
I wasn't born then.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It was kind of a... What's it called? They're trying to save kind of moral...
Oh, no. This isn't a college campus. Trying to fucking do the fucking the
morals and everything.
The fucking like
something like
fucking
that.
something
We believe
like that.
over wars and things that people had going on between the both countries.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
kind
know they're
of
just like extremists or something about the government.
They're like crazy or something.
Do you think that schools, generally speaking, are doing a good enough job of teaching students about the importance of this anniversary and the significance
I think with these sunglasses, this guy's gonna be based.
of what happened that day?
Not really. I remember only being taught about it twice. Once in like 5th grade, the second time in 9th grade, and since then I haven't really heard much at all about it. So yeah, I feel like you can see I forgot everything. So they probably should teach us a little bit more about what happened and why it's so important.
All right.
I think it's
self-awareness. Yeah, respectable.
Sure, it can be improved on. I think it's just like taught as...
It was the sunglasses, bro. Like, remember what I said before? Like, whenever you see one of those women with like those winged glasses, you know that you're about to hear some stupid shit, right? The aviators are the opposite.
happened, and we should just know that it happened, which is so unfortunate. Like right now, like I can't give you a full-on answer about the event, which is honestly quite tragic.
They don't really teach about it, and like doing this interview kind of like shows me like how little I actually knew about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary because it was such like a huge event that still is affecting the U.S.
I suppose not, given I don't know, so I guess not.
I personally don't think so because I have no idea really the reasoning behind it. I haven't really heard of it much outside of like the anniversary of 9/11.
God damn.
So I feel like high schools aren't really doing much.
No, this is the reason everybody says, oh, well, how can you want to get rid of the Department of Education? Well, there you go.
Educate the students.
I kind of think there's a big issue of it becoming like moral panic in a way to marginalize a group of people.
I don't believe
Thank
so.
God they cut her off.
We are currently too focused about the political correctness.
Fucking based, bro. Absolutely fucking based. There it is. Yeah, he's like, yeah, we don't talk about political correctness. Yep, there you go. At least one is not a retard. Yes, exactly. Oh my God, yeah. Some of these are just scary, man. They really are. And I guess the people who created Never Forget, Slogan Rise, the next generation would forget. Well, I mean, I don't know. It really depends. But it's just shocking to me, honestly, to see how much people don't know about this stuff. I mean, to be fair, the only reason that I knew that Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th is because World of Warcraft Cataclysm also released on December 7th, 2010. So that's the main reason I know about it. So, like, I guess that, like, this is just kind of what happens as you get older. But, man, that's a whole lot, isn't it? The mixed races are more knowledgeable on the topic. Well, I don't really think there's a racial correlation here. I just think that in general, I mean, schools don't teach kids anything. And they're just, like, in my opinion, like, I would change the way schools teach everything. I would. The AAA video game bubble has burst. I don't think this is true entirely, but I know why they're saying it. Here we go. Let's watch it.
The video game industry is currently in the thralls of a paradox. For players, it could be argued we're in one of the greatest times for gaming. There's incredible breadth of choice across consoles, handhelds, and PCs made ever more accessible through gaming subscription services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. But from an industry perspective, things could not be more dire. More and more studios seem to be closing, original IPs are being scrapped mid-development.
I mean, like, this is... the thing is that... I mean, bro, she was so... Why didn't they not... They really should have just made that go, damn. That's... What the fuck? And so anyway, I think it's because the studios were over hiring. They have a bunch of people in there. Like, this is a big problem that I think a lot of people in corporate have, is that they just bring in more and more people. Just more and more people, and eventually you have like such a large component of the actual of the company that doesn't actually contribute to the product. Like, they're not doing anything for the product. They're not improving the product. They're not making it better. They're not even helping the product. They're just there.
IPs are being scrapped mid-development, and vast legions of game developers, programmers, artists, and animators have been cut loose. To put it simply,
I mean, look, can't we just talk about the fact, like, who the fuck wants to do this? What is this, like, in between, like, a Pride rally, Burning Man, and Mad Max? What the fuck is this? Like, what kind of stuff? It doesn't make any sense. It's weird. Yeah, who does this?
animators have been cut loose. To put it simply, the AAA video game bubble has finally burst.
Yeah.
Across the past 2 years, over 23,000 jobs in the video game industry were lost, with a staggering 6,000 in January 2024 alone. Over 30 video game development studios have ceased operations, including Arcane Austin, Volition, and most recently Firewalk Studio.
You want to know what they're all have in common is that they're Western development studios. Capcom is hiring people, and From Software increased their wages. The problem is that AAA Western gaming studios are infested with like 3 or 4 different types of rot that they seemingly can't get rid of, and it's killing their games. The fact is that Monster Hunter is going to be a AAA game, and it's going to be massively fucking successful. Path of Exile 2 is a AA game that is better than basically any AAA game. Let's be real, like it is Western American, especially American, and a lot of European game developers. They are the ones that have no fucking idea what they're doing. That's the real problem.
What's worse is this trend only shows signs of continuing rather than diminishing. So how did we get here? Well, some analysts have concluded these closures and redundancies are a necessary remedy to companies having overextended themselves in response to inflated demand in the market during the COVID-19 pandemic. While that's undeniably a factor, that's just one of many issues that have been gestating for years within the AAA project bubble. Just 5 years ago, AAA projects' average budget ranged from $50 to $150 million. Today, the minimum average is $200 million.
Jesus.
Call of Duty's new benchmark.
So it more than doubled or quadrupled in 5 years. Well, where's that money going?
Where's it $300 million, with Activision admitting in the Competition and Market Authority's report on AAA development.
And also, like, here's another thing. I'm gonna just say it. Like, you know who plays games like this? Guys play games like this. They do. Girls don't play games like this. Some do, sure. But this is mainly a guy game. And you need to stop putting girl boss characters in games that are made for men. Because there's a big difference. There are games that are made for men and games that are made for women. Every other form of media has this and acknowledges it. But somehow in video gaming, we have to pretend like it's not real. It is obviously fucking real. So they keep making content for, quote, everybody. And nobody wants it. Girl Bros, yeah, it's ridiculous. Girl Boss is fine if it's demonstrated. Well, yeah, but the Resident Evil lady, like that history's talking about, she was really hot. That's the main thing. And also, she was like the villain, and like it wasn't even you. What's that, Stellar Blade? Yeah, Stellar Blade character is really hot. Like Stellar Blade is a game that's made to appeal to men. The people that made Stellar Blade made that game, and their target audience were men. Yeah, some girls play Stellar Blade, they like Stellar Blade, but it's a guy game, for sure. The Gooners, yeah, absolutely. And this is part of the rot that AAA, like Western AAA studios have, is that they do stuff like this. No, like, this is like, what the fuck?
Authority's report, it now takes the efforts of 1.5 studios just to complete the annual Call of Duty title. But it's far from just Call of Duty facing ballooning costs. In the same CMA report, an anonymous publisher admits that development costs for one of its franchises reached $660 million, with $550 million of marketing costs on top, which makes it a $1.2 billion game.
Wow.
To put that in perspective, Minecraft, the world's best-selling video game of all time, only broke $3 billion last year, and keep in mind that's what it made since it launched way back in 2011. Yeah. The realities of these budgets mean entire publishing houses are massively—
To be fair, I could see that data being not completely relevant because of how much merchandise and media that exists that uses the Minecraft IP. You know, it's like, you know, the whole George Lucas, why is he the richest director, right? But I don't know.
Overstretched and are now desperately facing the consequences. If their developers' huge projects don't make money immediately, they gotta go. Sega's sci-fi shooter super game Hyenas was in development at Creative Assembly for 7 years, and just as it was publicly playable—
This is, again, like, I have to say, like, I mean, stop making characters with ugly female— like, if you make a game with an ugly female character, I will automatically assume your game is garbage, because nobody wants that. Women don't want that, and men don't want that. Straight up. Like, I don't even understand how this is even a conversation.
First time via alpha testing, it was promptly canceled. The reason? Sega preemptively concluded that Hyenas couldn't make its money back. Blizzard's survival project Odyssey had a similar trajectory.
Look at this, bro. This is the most retarded, cringe, millennial shit that I've ever seen. This is so obnoxious and weird. Like, really? Like, I mean, what the fuck is this? It's a children's game? I guess so. It's also just ugly? Yeah, it's just so weird.
Couldn't make its money back. Blizzard's survival project Odyssey had a similar trajectory. Odyssey would have been the studio's first new IP in 8 years, and given the market's love for games like Minecraft and Rust, such a gaming titan should have undoubtedly made waves with this project. No. Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, though. The project was swiftly killed with little reason publicly given beyond inconveniences in switching engines to increase player count on the server.
Guys, Overwatch 2 is a joke. Heroes of the Storm was a joke. Diablo 4 was a joke. You really think this game was good? Like, I mean, why would anybody think this game was good? I mean, really, like, why are we assuming that it was this great game? HOTS was fun? No, it wasn't. If it was fun, more people would have played it. Guys, I understand it's popular to say, like, oh, I like this game that's not popular anymore. No, there's a reason why they stopped playing. They stopped promoting it because nobody played the game, because it wasn't fun.
These examples of the current AAA publishing call reflect a deep-rooted fear to engage with anything new and original. Publishers perhaps more risk-averse than ever to stray out of their established IP safety bars. But even well-known IP that could be worth millions in sales and revenue is being left to rot. Despite owning Infamous, Jack and Daxter—
Please say Killzone.
Killzone, Resistance.
Yes! So fucking true. I know!
And Sly Cooper, to name a few entries in PlayStation's sprawling dormant library, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki recently claimed the company lacks enough original IP to consolidate itself as a true gaming powerhouse.
Yeah. It's fucking so stupid. This is the second game I had this one.
You talking
What Todoki may mean is that Sony's older catalog of library IP does not fit the mold of what every publisher has been mindlessly chasing for the better part of
See, like, Killzone should be the American version of Stalker. It should be like in between Stalker and Space Marine 2. Killzone was great, by the way. Yeah, that's where it should be, and it's just not there. Killzone's trash. It was really fun back whenever it came out. It was like 2005, something like that.
Decade, the next big live service money printer. It's difficult to imagine much fanfare for a Sly Cooper reboot where Bentley and Murray are purchased to play, grand heists or season pass bonuses, and worlds are delivered half-baked instead of fully formed. It's undeniable that on some level the video game market has changed forever because of this live service model. New video games don't just have to compete with new rivals, but somehow find space in an increasingly
bullshit. Dragon Age, even though this game didn't sell well. Armored Core 6. Let's see. What else do we have? I've uninstalled a lot of games. Dragon's Dogma 2. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. They had a couple of updates and they stopped. What else do we have? Elden Ring. Metaphor. There's another one. Yeah, Metaphor. Right there. So, it's just bullshit. This idea that every game has to be live service, just total fucking bullshit.
Market dominated by decade-old titles like Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto Online.
Because
games which will continue.
You want to know why Fortnite is so popular? It's because it plays flawlessly. It is such a good game to play. It's good in the way that classic WoW is good.
Higher player counts than many of the best sellers of the last few years. The live service titles require investment of not just money, but also time to find their audience, neither of which was afforded to Firewalk Studios' Concord. The crew of Concord's North Star will never fly again. The recent fate of Concord's Firewalk Studios serves as a microcosm for the increasingly bleak outlook for the next few years in video game development.
I feel like a lot of these big gaming publications and gaming channels don't want to address the elephant in the room, which were the elephants in the character selection screen on Concord. No one wants to play, like, a mix between, I don't know, like somebody on My 600-Pound Life and Doom Guy. They don't want to do that. Nobody wants to play that. Like, it wasn't appealing at all. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but, like, it's just not going to, like, nobody wanted this. Nobody asked for this. And so, the 600-Pound Doom Guy, yeah, exactly, right? And when these studios keep making games that have, and I'm sorry, but, like, I know I talk about this a lot. I'm sure people are kind of annoyed by it. But, like, if I see, like, some kind of weird, like, identity politics shit in a game, my probability of wanting to play that game goes down by a lot. And it's not even because of the identity politics. It's about the fact that I'm good at recognizing patterns. And I've seen patterns happen a lot where it's, oh, this game is like this, it has this feature, that means it's going to have a bunch of other garbage too. That's it. That's their focus. Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to see that in a game. I think that's weird. It's exhausting. Yeah, it's fucking weird. And so, like, the studios keep doing this, and like, I don't know how you can look at the releases of these games and the entire media space collectively saying, not collectively, obviously people disagree, right? But people saying, like, we don't want these games with, like, these, like, weird modern social issues attached to them. People have been begging, please stop making identity politics part of your video game. Please stop doing it. And they don't stop doing it, and people don't buy the games. It's that simple. It's the same with movies and TVs. Yeah, people aren't buying them, and that's the reason why you have these foreign developers that are doing so well. Yeah, police have a body type A and B. Only happens with AAA stuff. Yeah, well, that's why AAA is the ones that are making people that are losing money. When do you think they'll wake up? They won't. They're going to have to get fired, and the studios will have to get shut down because you can't get rid of these people. And so it's like an infection. Like when you get infected with something like this, you just have to cut off the entire arm. That's it. They said they're not going to stop no matter the cost. Well, I mean, they're going to say that until it costs too much. But either way, that's what happens. And I think that's a huge reason. I mean, like, yeah, Concord was a bad game, sure. But it was also, like, if you look at the initial reception of the game, if you read the comments, everybody was, like, super negative about it. It's the same thing with Dragon Age. And, like, at a certain point, you can't just pretend that having this massive, overwhelming consumer sentiment doesn't matter. It fucking matters. It obviously fucking matters. Of course it matters.
Concord was Firewalk's first game, its baby in many ways. An 8-year development bolstered by a Sony acquisition and a reported cash injection of $200+ million. PlayStation reportedly believed it had the next Star Wars-esque franchise on its hands.
Yeah, they did.
But the game struggled significantly across both its beta testing period and launch, and was soon completely shut down by Sony just weeks after it was released. Firewalk closed for business shortly thereafter. Yep. Concord's downfall happened faster than any other failed game of the live service era. Don't feel about something like this. Just a decade earlier, though.
I feel like that happened with a couple of other live service games recently, but it wasn't really that bad. Like Concord, I feel like, was the big one.
A similar disaster was plaguing Blizzard's Diablo 3. The crippling Error 37 message made the game unplayable, and fans worldwide decreed the absolute failure to launch. Soon after, the game's real money auction house left players with a foul taste in their mouth. The Diablo 3's reputation was roasting in the fires. Instead of abandoning it, Blizzard repaired the game, removed the auction house, and then fundamentally upgraded and evolved it to Diablo 3 2.0 with its Reaper of Souls expansion, finally cementing its comeback as a brilliant game. It's a similar...
Wrong. The reason why Diablo 3 wasn't very good at launch is because the game was completely unbalanced. That's really the reason. There's not a lot to it. And they put no effort into balancing and making the in-game content for the game good. The guy that was like the person who made the game, like one of the directors, like what he went and said is he said, we made the game really hard. So what we did is we just doubled all of the numbers. Like, okay. So, and then because I beat Inferno before it got nerfed. I did. Did not beat it on hardcore like Caparian did, but I did beat it. It was totally broken garbage. There was desyncing issues. The game just functionally did not play well. And this is especially true with every other act besides Act 1. Because Act 1 was in the Diablo 3 beta, and none of the other acts were tested at all. So you would go through Act 1, and it was this flawless, great experience. And then the moment you go into Act 2, you would have to be dodging grenades that spawned off screen, and then you would have to be dodging wasps that were invisible. It was just total garbage.
story to what we saw with CD Projekt Red's hard-fought battle to win Cyberpunk 2077 fans back after a disastrous launch. If Concord's alleged $200+ million budget had been lowered and the project direction refocused as a spark for a new universe rather than a big bang, it doesn't seem hard to believe that it could have found an audience with some Blizzard or CDPR like shepherding from Sony. Many projects that came to Concord could be the medium-sized successes they deserve to be if not for the financial corners these publishers find themselves painted into. And really, maybe some publishers should consider steering clear of these financial quarters entirely. Gamers are beginning to wane interest in these monolithic projects. You need only look at a top-rated games of 2024 list. Well, 2023's award lists were littered with...
It's because Baldur's Gate 3 was a good game and it didn't... Almost every single one of the games that didn't do well had some form of messaging that a lot of people didn't like. Like, if you look at Dragon Age, if you look at Concord, if you look at... I feel like those are probably the two biggest ones, right? Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access forever? Yeah, it was. And so Baldur's Gate 3 had a message. Well, Baldur's Gate 3 let you do whatever you wanted, right? That's really... Suicide Squad, Justice League, Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, exactly. All of these games, in my opinion, were infected with unrelatable, weird social messaging that an average person wouldn't be able to appreciate or like. I think that's really the problem. It's a huge thing. And it's like, I don't see how you can, like, you have all of these points and they're making this perfect line, but you won't draw the line. You won't say, wow, what do all these games have in common? People are more pissed about Batman? Yeah, sure.